So let me check the stream. Oh, I want to put some music on. Let's see. Let's see. So, okay. Already played that one. Probably I want to change. Okay. I took the time before. Nice. There is some issue here. Let's see. Close my blender. Probably. No. Let's see. Hmm. I probably need to subdivide it and make it flat. So shade flat. Let's see. Select everything. The collection export. Alright, and then re-import to Substance Painter. Let's see how it's going. Import mesh. Check the music meanwhile. Is updating the file. Some sort of middle age fantasy movie soundtrack. Interesting. Okay, okay. I know. Before I was streaming, it was the first time that I was trying to talk along my stream. This is why I was a bit slow while working because I was taking pauses to talk, to let you hear my beautiful voice, you know. And it happened that I forgot to switch the microphone on, and I know this is a thing that boomer like me are doing. I'm not a boomer, I know, but I'm just turned 50 in June, so I know it's a common mistake on my generation. Hopefully, we have more things that we are not missing, and probably we have some knowledge about something and some skills achieved that along the year. So forgive me for not having you listening to my talk because I was telling a few interesting things to improve your substance method on painting when if you are a newbie to this software. For example, let's say in the it's a bit long. It takes a while because I'm always saving on an external hard drive, which is an USB external drive, and it's slow. It's not a solid state hard drive. Lower. Back in check a bit, please. It was running too high on my headphones. So Uh, when you import your object into Substance Painter, sorry, you go and make your maps. I'm usually trying to improve the output size at least to 4 key, but now I use a key because it was not crashing my laptop. And oh, there is an interesting thing here. I create a map for ID map, not using everything that is already present inside of Substance Painter. I'm using the vertex color, and the vertex color was created inside of Blender or any 3D software that you are using. Vertex painting is a common technique that lets you embed colors, RGB colors inside each vertice, so it gets related to and embedded into the geometry itself. In Blender you have to go to Vertex Paint to see them, or here in Solid View you have to activate the attribute, and this is why sometimes you see um, my model colored on different ways. It's not the random, you see the difference, it's not the random thing here, the random color, it's the attribute color. And in Substance Painter I will be able to get this blue here and use it as a mask, adding this green here, maybe adding other part, and directly use them as a mask. And I usually do that because I'm making objects that usually use 1, 2, 3, 4 material, but not a lot of material. I mean, I don't need to split the object in several different parts and then remerge them later. I don't need to create several different materials. I don't want to deal, especially in with Substance Painter, I don't want to export many different textures and then have and then do more work trying to connect all of them in one single texture, so I don't like to do that, I don't want to do that. And ID maps, it's perfect because it can be created by embedding, as I showed here, the vertex color, and by using the ID map I will be able to make the mask pretty much immediately. So in the other video I was creating this base folder for any part of the bike, of the scooter. The scooter is composed by 3 different materials, and I'm creating a base, and in the base I usually use solid color or generative procedural map. I will never use for example brushes. I will not add in details because the base, it's usually what I want for my base texturing is usually a clean object that will serve as a base for more improvement later. And for example, if I want to change a color, it will be really useful because I'm using this base folder. Hopefully I will not add anything that is dealing with color on top of it. Sometimes apart if I need to add rust or something similar, but anyway, it's about layering. You when you model, pretty much sure that you know that. You have two layer stuff on top of each other. For example, you will start with bigger shapes, then medium shapes, and then the details, and modeling, keeping these layers in mind and adding details on top of what you did before, not trying to immediately making them. It's a good way to maintain a good workflow, to be able to come back to change our mindset, restart again with, without losing anything you did before. And also it's pretty much how things get created in real life. For example, you can start with the rock, then wind and water made made no issues on that rock. They carved it and something similar, and then cracks appeared. Then you can see something made by nature, and this came later. It's the same with vehicles and other human-made props. You need to think about what is coming first on bigger shapes, and then you make everything on top of it. I mean, medium shapes, details, really tiny details or micro details. It's pretty much the same in the brush. For example, when you are in Blender, when you start sculpting, you don't want to sculpt an head, for example, and then jump into pores. You want to carefully create the head out of planes and start refining the shapes and the proportion. Then you want to come to muscles and fat and everything is underneath the skin, and just in the end you will have the opportunity to add pores and stuff like that. If you are not doing this separation, the the problem will be that you still have the bigger shapes, then your model will lack a layer of details that will make a separation, a visible separation between each parts. For example, if you are modeling a face and you are not making in the proper way the layer of fat and muscle before doing pores and tiny details, you will lose some details that and you will never have the opportunity to add them later when working on micro details, meaning if you need to change something at that level, you have to remove all the details and reduce that part. And I don't want that to happen to me and to you as well. Then after I stopped the video, I redid something in Blender. I added the missing part here. Initially this model was meant in this already in this yet for a mobile game, so it should be really low poly, but I wanted to increase a bit the polygons. I was asked to remove all the unwanted part, also the internal path for the fenders, because it will be rendered double-sided, so no one will notice. But I don't want to show that while working on this model on YouTube, so I kept the time to remodel it. And if you want, I saved something. Oh, just a sec. I'm receiving a call. I'm sorry, was nothing important. Anyway, look at this. I added a solidify to make this real quick, and I removed a lot of interior topology because I don't really need that. It will be okay with the wheels on. And that's okay. And also I rebuilt a lot of redid improved a lot the vertex paint. Before, for example, I hadn't the opportunity to switch the material on that parts, so let me show you how is it made. I need to take the fairing, for example, go here, and let's say all the fairing, all that part should be black, but high reflective, and I still think it's a bit too bright, so let me lower a bit, and also it's way a bit too reflective, probably not, but and I wanted that part to be steel, so I'm going here to steel. I already put my mask on, and I added a add color selection, sorry. And in color selection I pick the color, and let me show you because it was uploading. If I pick the color, it's directly going, as you can see, into the ID mask, looking for all the color and separating all the color, and if I pick that one, it will be automatically included in the mask, which is black, so it was hidden. And if I include it in the mask, output value is set to white, so it's showing that part. This one. Okay, there is only one thing to know when you are using this. If you put another layer on top of it with a mask, with a color selection on it, and you choose the same piece, same ID color, you will get the color given by the last material on top of each other layers, like for example in GIMP or Photoshop. And so be careful if you don't, if it happens that it is not getting the color and the attributes of this material, probably you are dealing with another material fill layer, paint layer on top of this one, with a mask that is using the same ID color. Now I want to continue. I'm going here into the probably, I was near the frame. Okay, I want this part, these tiny pieces. I can recall the name. I want them to be darker, probably. So, Control D, plastic black. And okay, it's PBR, so we can't directly use black and white. We have to force black to be in its darker version, 20-30% brighter, and the contrary happens for the white, because the values from 0 to 1 of the intensity for PBR is is smaller compared to the extension of color you can use in non-PBR approach. And Substance is compensating that, but you need to be careful. And for example, I'm taking them. So just to show you, I want roughness, metallic and color. I don't want them to be reflective, and you see it's already working. I want their dark. As I said, Substance Painter already compensate that, and you see it's not completely black because we are working with a PBR setup, but usually, as I notice, if I'm going to Unity, it can be still a bit too much dark. It's also of course about your lighting, so I'm usually increase its brightness a bit. And also that part, I wanted it still as this part here. Oh, I still have this issue. I want to get rid of it. Let's see where the problem is. So there is an error here, and the error is that that part should be that part, but probably I did that on purpose, not sure. I will, but I want to show you how to deal with that. So we need to take the pink color, by clear the sea here before, and also clear the sharpness. I want to take that pink and put it here. Be sure to select the to be 100% sure to take the exact color. I want to go in solid flat mode, so it's like they are automissive with the value of 1. Now I'm selecting that part and that part, and I'm going to vertex paint, the color, the pink, and this is the selection, active selection, and shift key. Shift key is adding the color, overwriting the old value, and this is okay, but it's I didn't solve. Looks like it's a bit more. Let's see. It looks like it's a bit more better. Let's see if I have something here. It is messing with my color pick. Looks like all is okay. So, what's the deal? Let's see. Quite similar, but bright. Okay. I want to waste time. It's pressure, you know. So I'm getting another solution. I selected everything, then vertex pane shift K, and everything will be of the same color, and it will be working. Now, as I said, I didn't solve the issue. I'm going to the Mockup to see it better. Okay. Let's see if this is solving the issue here. Let me isolate that part. How's it going with my English? Can you understand me? Can you follow me? I'm trying to improve, guys, so be patient, please. I need your support. It's really precious for me. Okay. I created that part, which I don't want, so I'm removing it now. It's really important to take care of every shading issue, especially for low poly models. If something is not working, it will get worse in the game. It's solved partially, probably. Let's see. Let me remove the wireframe. Okay. Is there something here? I don't want those. And it looks like there is something wrong in the planarity, or should I say not that part. So let me remove this part as well. Sometimes less is more. As you can see, it's improving a bit. And this was expected, of course. Okay, you see? This long edge is messing with my model. So let me remove that crap. I'm not using the mirror modifier, so I'm making the same topology at the same time. So let me subdivide it, and now let me bevel. Just to start, a good way to improve the model is to do that. Let's see, yes. And also, oh. Okay. Yes, there is something wrong. SX. Oh, it's something I did before, now I remember. Okay, I fucked it. Let me do that with individual, setting SX0. And now middle point, median point. And I have to scale it. And there is something wrong here. Oh, nice. I see. Okay, fuck. Come on. I don't want to waste my time with broken models, so I'm trying my best to push it just a little, and then let's see. As it's compenetrating here, I don't probably need that crap. It was meant to create a nice bridge with the other part, modeling the old and connecting. I don't do that now. Okay. Now it's okay. Oh, one thing that I could do to save space in the texture iron is to get everything here, and you see this is entering here, and I want to reduce not that part probably, but for sure I want to reduce it. And there is a better way to do that, of course. That everything you want. Select everything. I said select everything here. Maybe it's time to make that part just big. And the tool that I'm about to use, it's here, or is it? It's the bisect. The bisect is cutting through your mesh, affecting only the selected edges. This is because you don't want to waste space on your you don't want to save space. Oh, something is not working with my selection. What happened? The fuck. When you want to save space, I mean, in the by doing that you are saving that space. Now I'm putting the mirror on. Oh, I was about to delete that part, but probably will leave it as it is, because it's not bad. I think it's improved. Something is not working with my blender anymore. Okay, still a poly, but it improved. I'm taking it. Nice. I'm okay. I can press Ctrl T to triangulate that, but I want to go a bit deeper on it, so I'm making this. Which is better, of course. Oh, come on. start. You should always finish what you start. No. Relax, don't do it. Okay, there's a better opportunity. I'm doing that. Topology is similar, but it's a bit cleaner. And here I'm cutting through. This is an n-gon. It can go here, just to be sure. Okay, usually we have shader issues when we get too elongated of polygons. You want to get rid of them, so usually you want to do something similar, and remember to make a bit of space here. Let's see, okay, while model edit something, probably. Let me verify that model. Set everything by distance. And usually I want to have my statistics on. So if I'm merging some vertices, I will see here if it's changing, meaning that I probably have issue and I need to find a way to get rid of them. I'm usually not really working on this skewed object. In another tutorial on YouTube, I showed how to use instancing and to make all the cuts and the planar scale and stuff like that in the instance which is oriented as the global axis, and then we'll be retaining the other instance which will be rotated. Okay, if it's a model that it's not for a mobile game, I will do something similar, cutting through, making these edges along all the object, because I would like to have more similar faces, meaning tiny faces go to biggest faces with an increased value, but for now I leave everything as it is. Bigger faces, smaller faces, just next to each other. I'm not sub-D model, so it's okay. Okay, now it should be okay. Oh. Okay, there is an issue. Here I use the mirror, but the mirror modifier is applied to everything, because my model was hidden but not separated. So I'm throwing my mirror modifier away, taking everything here, P to separate, and also I need to delete that part. Now I can add my mirror and it will work only on this object, which is better. And also I want to see if Now everything is right with the seams, not with the vid, but the seams are okay. I'm not bleeding into other island, so I can take everything here, Ctrl L, and unwrap. Selecting everything now. I need to remerge everything. Select everything. I can take one part here, texel density add-on, calculate the TD, calculate set to value, select everything, set my TD, and then I using UV pack master, and my texel density is saved for all the object. It's consistent, which is what I like, and what you should aim for. Okay, let's select everything. Let's export. I said export. My preset, which is applying the unit, the transformer. It depends on which engine, which software you are exporting to, and which is the preset I used for Superbike mobile VR game, and this is why it's called that name. And it's Scooter 1. Talking about the naming convention. Usually I'm making a zero version of the model. I mean, there is some point at some point where I'm finishing the model, and I maintain separated every other file which I used to improve the model, to increase the detail, and they are numbered and ordered, but I maintain them in another folder. When I'm finished, I'm usually creating a file which is considered a base 0 file, but I'm not putting any number. Scooter, for example, was called Scooter. Now I did something on that file. I improved the ID maps, the vertex paint I wanted to say. I modified several parts, as you can see. I rebuilt some UVs, so I'm adding the number now. Usually it should be underscore 01 001, would be better, and you can consider that as some sort of retakes you did on that file. So as you consider that file already finished, maybe those details, those retakes were made from something really specific, and you have the opportunity to come back to the previous file, or if as in my case this is an improvement, in the end this will become a backup, or I can even delete that one and rename that one, but usually I'm not deleting anything. I'm still I'm really done, or making archives of the backups instead, and so little one, little two, and so on. And those are all retakes meant to be intended on a finished model. Okay. Now I'm importing the mesh, and it's perfect to make all that changes when we are working on the base model and not on the details, because everything is procedural now, and you will not lose everything unless you are renaming or changing the materials, changing material names, adding more of them, probably missing some of them, and you will get issues. But apart of this, you can do everything here. The only thing is, now I changed my UVs, I need to remake the bedding. I usually select one by one my materials here, and I'm deactivating what I don't want, but the ID map is really fast to be created, so I'm not checking it, I'm maintaining it, just a few parameters. Use low poly mesh because we don't have any high poly mesh to project normals and other stuff on it. I'm matched them by mesh name. Not sure this is working for this model, but for now I don't want, for example, to affect some parts, but let's see how's it going. If it will be the final version of a model for game, I will be more careful by activating that part, because for example, I don't want the fender to project any shadow on the wheel, or you will be able to see a black patch, a black spot when the wheel is rotating, which is the baked shadow, for example. So I need to bake everything. It will take a while because I'm baking at the 8 key, the maximum resolution. I did something really stupid, which I don't do a lot, but now I'm talking, I'm tired, as well. But usually before baking, especially before baking a really big output size as me, you have to save the file. If you don't do that, maybe your PC, if your PC is crashing, you will lose everything. I mean, all the setups, and that sucks, So it will take a while. I can leave you with this beautiful soundtrack.